What if more legendary Pokemon had evolutions and pre-evolutions? This is a question that I made a video about fairly recently and asked myself in the first place because more legendary Pokemon in recent generations have gained the ability to evolve, which is something that legendary Pokemon never did until just a few years ago. Therefore, I think the idea of exploring what it could be like if they could evolve is really cool, and therefore we are here to do it once again today. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, so in the last video, we focused a little more on evolutions, so in this video, we are going to begin with pre-evolutions, specifically for the legendaries of the Kalos region, Xerneas and Yveltal. And without any further ado, these are the pre-evolutions that I have given these legendary Pokemon. Now before we go any further, I do need to give a very big shout out to my good friend Oscar Belmonte, who drew the artwork for all of the designs you are going to see in this video. He does great work, as you guys should definitely know by now, so be sure to check him out with the links in the description below if you haven't already. Back to these pre-evolutions though, the thing that's fun about legendary pre-evolutions is that you can essentially just make the Pokemon a lot smaller and cuter and chibier, and it just works. There's not really a lot of thought or design or research that needs to go into a design like this because the purpose of it, quite frankly, is simply to be cute and to be something that can eventually evolve into that next form. I think both of these do a great job of doing just that, while also retaining the fact that they are indeed legendary Pokemon, because even though they're small and cute, they're still considered legendaries, and therefore still need to have that legendary look. The baby Xerneas here is known as Xerneas, and is quite possibly my favorite design of this entire video, because I'm already a huge Xerneas fan, and making Xerneas into a cute little baby Pokemon is just a match made in heaven for me, so I love the way that this turned out. I think the baby Yveltal turned out great too, and frankly is exactly what a baby version of Yveltal would look like in my opinion. Its name is Tinyvel, which comes from the words tiny, referring to its small size, and the Yvel in Yveltal, which also comes from the word evil because it's a dark type. And this Pokemon is also a dark type as well, retaining the same dark flying typing as Yveltal has. Xerneas also has the same fairy type that Xerneas has, and its name, since I didn't address it, comes from Xerneas' name as well as baby, because it is the baby form of Xerneas. We're not just looking at pre-evolutions here though, because we're also going to take a look at an evolution of a legendary Pokemon too. More specifically though, it's actually a mythical Pokemon that we're going to be looking at because I'm lumping them in here too, and that mythical Pokemon is none other than Victini. Now, even though Victini is powerful, it's still very small in stature, like many of the other mythical Pokemon are. That means that there is some room for it to grow physically, and that is why I have decided to give it the evolution treatment today. And the evolution that I have come up with for it is none other than Victory. Now, since Victini's whole deal from a physical standpoint is that it is small, I mean, it's even in its name, teeny, I wanted this evolution to be something that was a little more physically mature, so that is what I have focused on with Victory. The other thing that I have focused on is fleshing out one of Victini's main inspirations, and that is the Greek goddess of victory, Nike. Victini is loosely based on this Greek goddess, and so I wanted Victory to more directly embrace this inspiration, because being based on a Greek goddess of victory is a pretty cool concept. Therefore, I wanted Victini's design to look more like that of a Greek god or goddess, which is why it has the tassels around its waist that it does, and even though the physical appearance of a Greek god or goddess is kind of a hard concept to encapsulate within a Pokemon, I feel like we did a decent job of illustrating that here with Victini's design, as well as just filling out its physical body and making it more fully mature. And speaking of fully mature, that is exactly where Victini gets its name, as it combines the words victory with the word mature. Since Victini, as a Pokemon whose name comes from victory and teeny, is so focused on being small, I wanted something that represented the fact that this is the form of Victini that it takes when it becomes fully mature. And since Victini was already dual-typed with its Psychic Fire typing, Victini keeps that as well, because frankly, it's a great type combo, and there's no real reason to change it. While I personally love Victini myself, I definitely would not mind seeing it get an evolution, and if that evolution ended up looking something like this, I feel like I would definitely be cool with it. Let's go ahead and move on to our next Pokemon of the video though, and that Pokemon is going to be Darkrai. Now Darkrai, just like Victini, is a mythical Pokemon, but unlike Victini, Darkrai is a lot bigger and stronger in stature, and therefore I feel like it is going to need a pre-evolution as opposed to an evolution like we did with Victini. So that is what I have decided to go with for this mythical Pokemon, and the pre-evolution that I came up with is Darkling. Now, first and foremost, the name Darkling is pretty simple. It basically denotes this Pokemon as a baby form of Darkrai. However, even if it's really simple, I feel like that describes exactly what this Pokemon is, because it truly is a baby Darkrai, and it's pretty much as simple as that. However, since it's such a basic name at the same time, I would definitely love to hear any suggestions you guys would have for a name of this Pokemon as well. And feel free to suggest names for the other Pokemon as well, because while I like the names I came up with decently well, I feel like there's definitely some room for improvement as well, and I would love to hear your guys' ideas. As a Darkling, it is also pure Dark type, just like its evolution Darkrai is as well, and it's ultimately, like I said, purely just a baby form of Darkrai. It's just this little wispy, ghosty thing, and then eventually will grow into the more fully fledged, Grim Reaper-looking Lord of Nightmares that Darkrai is. For as much as it looks like a baby form of Darkrai though, I feel like it also leaves the perfect amount of growth between it and Darkrai as well, to where it legitimately looks like a baby Pokemon looks and like all of the other official baby Pokemon look in comparison to their evolved forms. So I feel like it actually does its job really well in that respect. What do you guys think about this Darkrai pre-evolution though? And what do you think about all of the other evolutions and pre-evolutions I featured in this video? Be sure to let me know down in the comments below, leave a like if you enjoyed it, subscribe for more if you're new, and let me know if you would like to see more legendary Pokemon evolutions and pre-evolutions, because if this video does well, I would definitely love to keep this going. With that said, I will be back very soon with another new video, so until then, as always, thank you guys so much for watching this one. I really appreciate it, and I will smell you guys later.